2.5 hours from now, Ariel Castro returns to court to learn his fate. On Friday, he pleaded guilty to more than 900 charges of kidnapping and rape. Castro held 3 Cleveland women for more than a decade inside his home on Seymour Avenue. And at 9 o'clock this morning, he will be sentenced to life in prison with no parole, plus 1,000 years.
And Macy, it's been 12 weeks and 3 days since we first found out Amanda, Gina, and Michelle were alive. A lot has happened since then. Kristen's live at the Justice Center this morning. You see her right there with how we got to this point.
Good morning, and Terrence. Yeah, let's go back in time here because it has been quite some time and we've been there for it all. Take a listen.
I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 10 years and I'm here, I'm free now.
May 6th, 2013, a 911 phone call that hit a nerve with the nation and the world. Amanda Berry escapes this Seymour Avenue home along with 2 other women held hostage for more than 10 years. Almost instantly, News Channel 5's interview with Charles Ramsey, one of her rescuers, went viral.
We see this dude every day. I mean, every day.
How long have you lived here?
I've been here a year.
Okay.
You still coming from?
The world was watching when Amanda, Gina, and Michelle finally went home. And nearly every Wednesday after his arrest, all eyes were on their captor in court, Ariel Castro. He sported the same look, head down, eyes sometimes closed, until last Friday when he agreed to a plea deal, life in prison without parole, plus 1,000 years.
My addiction to pornography and my sexual problem has really taken a toll on my mind.
The prosecution calls Castro a thespian, a man who minimizes his crimes.
These ladies were held longer than the prisoners in Korea and Vietnam.
His attorneys admit the evidence was overwhelming.
What I've seen in this case is someone that clearly has mental issues that we're trying to get addressed forensically to understand what may have caused this.
Now, last Friday, Ariel Castro pleaded guilty. One day after that, we saw Amanda Berry enjoying herself at a Cleveland concert, seeming very happy there. Also, the day after that, our News Channel 5 team had an exclusive interview with Gina DeJesus, who went to her house, also spoke with her mother. Gina had a big smile on her face, and she told us that she was really enjoying time at home with her family.
Kristen, thank you. You're now looking live at Ariel Castro's Seymour Avenue home. And last night, the prosecutor's office released court documents that describe the conditions the 3 Seymour survivors endured during their more than 10 years of captivity in that house. According to the documents, they were restrained, often chained in their rooms. They weren't allowed to wander through the house and had to use plastic toilets in their bedrooms.
Well, the girls were rarely allowed to see one another, but they were allowed to keep diaries which detailed their lives as captives. The women wrote about being forced into sexual conduct and of fearing of their next round of abuse. But they also wrote about hope, of dreaming about escaping one day. Almost all of Amanda Berry's journal entries talked about her mother. First, Amanda wrote about the woman's frantic searches for her daughter, and after her mother's death, Berry wrote to her mother in heaven. And those documents also include information from a psychologist who describes how the women tried to take care of each other. He says that Michelle Knight suffered the most, that she tried to protect the other women when she could. She's the one who delivered Amanda Berry's baby and helped to save the infant's life when it wasn't breathing. And Michelle often interceded when Castro tried to abuse Gina, sometimes getting hurt herself. Both Gina and Michelle tried to help Amanda instill proper values in her baby. We invite you to stay with News Channel 5 for continuing coverage of this story at 6:45. What will happen to Ariel Castro after today's sentencing and what his life will be like behind bars? His sentencing is scheduled to begin at 9 a.m. and as soon as it starts, we will have live coverage on air and on newsnet5.com, including in-depth analysis with legal experts and interaction on Facebook and Twitter.